Okay, good afternoon. So as you have seen, Eurostat has this morning released its first notification of government deficit and debt data for 2013. On the basis of this result, the staff of the Commission, the ECB and the IMF, in close cooperation with the Greek Ministry of Finance, have calculated that Greece achieved a primary surplus of 1.5 billion euros, or 0.8% of GDP in 2013. That is according to the definition agreed in the context of the Economic Adjustment Programme. Now let me take a moment to explain to you how we come to this figure. So you can see from the Eurostat press release that the headline deficit for Greece was 12.7% of GDP in 2013. On the basis of this figure, we've made a number of further calculations. First, we excluded interest expenditure, which comes to 4% of GDP. Second, we excluded several specific items, mainly in order to better reflect the underlying structural fiscal position. So in 2013, these adjustments came to 9.5% of GDP, mainly reflecting the one-off cost of support to the banking sector, which amounted to 10.8% of GDP according to the programme definition, and the transfers from member states to Greece corresponding to profits on Greek bonds held by the Eurosystem central banks, which amounted to 1.5% of GDP. So this brings us to a primary surplus of 0.8% of GDP, which is well ahead of the 2013 target, which was for a balanced primary budget as set in the Economic Adjustment Programme, and is a reflection of the remarkable progress that Greece has made in repairing its public finances since 2010. Now, these developments have already been taken into account in the assessment of Greece's compliance with the 2014 fiscal target. And we will provide further details on the 2013 programme outcome in the next regular report on the Greek Economic Adjustment Programme, which we expect to present this Friday. Okay? So that's what I have to say on Greece. And I just wanted to draw your attention to one other point regarding today's Eurostat release, and that's just to stress that the figures that you see for the government balance, for the government deficits in most cases, include support given to financial institutions. And if you click on the link that you can find on page 2 of the release, it will take you to a document which contains a table where you can see what the deficit would be without, once you exclude that support for financial institutions. And in some cases it makes a significant difference. So for example, looking at the general government deficit for Greece, it's 12.7%, including support for financial institutions, and it's only 2.1% once that is excluded. Or for example, Slovenia, it's 14.7% as compared to 4.3% once that's excluded. So please do look at those figures to make the comparison, because that's also important in the context of our assessment of these countries' progress in the context of the Stability and Growth Pact. Okay.
Thank you, Simon. Yes, question at the back.
Simon, vu que le surplus budgétaire était une des conditions posées par l'Eurogroupe, peux-tu nous décrire quels sont les prochains pas, éventuellement s'il y a un calendrier pour le soutien de la Grèce?
Le calendrier est celui qui a été indiqué par le président de l'Eurogroupe récemment. Je crois que la dernière fois a été lors de la conférence de presse suite à l'Eurogroupe d'Athènes, lorsqu'il a dit que cette discussion aura lieu dans la deuxième moitié de cette année. Donc voilà, c'est ce qu'on attend en termes de timing pour cette discussion.
Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions pour Simon à ce sujet? Oui, au milieu là.
Oui, merci. Deux questions. Sur la Grèce, est-ce que vous estimez que cet excédent primaire va permettre une réduction du stock de la dette, une baisse de la dette en stock? Première question. Une deuxième question sur la France. Le Haut Conseil aux finances publiques a émis des réserves ce matin sur les prévisions de croissance proposées par le gouvernement français pour 2016 et 2017, qui sont de 2,25%. Et donc, ce qui évidemment remettrait en cause la trajectoire de stabilisation budgétaire prévue par la France. Je voulais savoir si vous aviez un commentaire sur ces réserves du Haut Conseil aux finances publiques.
Non, déjà, d'abord sur la question de la France, je n'ai pas de commentaire sur ceci. Je peux simplement vous indiquer que début mai, on présentera nos propres prévisions. Et début juin, on présentera notre analyse détaillée de la situation des finances publiques en France et aussi des progrès en termes de réformes structurelles pour la croissance et l'emploi dans le contexte du semestre européen. Donc ça sera dans ce contexte-là et dans à ces deux moments-là qu'on va pouvoir s'exprimer en plus de détails sur ces questions-là. Pour ce qui est de l'évolution de la dette en Grèce, du stock et surtout du rapport dette PIB en Grèce, dans le rapport qu'on va présenter ce vendredi, il y aura des nouvelles projections de la dette, de la progression de la dette par rapport au PIB pour les prochaines années. Donc je vous demanderai d'attendre encore quelques jours pour voir comment on voit la situation de la dette.
Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions pour Simon? Oui, au fond.
Simon, thanks. While there won't be a decision on any possible debt relief for Greece until the second half of the year, how soon do you expect the Eurogroup to take up the discussion, to start discussions on that matter? Could it be as soon as early as the next Eurogroup meeting? Thank you.
That's a question that you would need to address to the president of the Eurogroup, I'm afraid.
Follow-up?
Would Commissioner Rehn like to see the discussion start as soon as possible, or would he like to wait till the second half of the year or after the European elections?
Well, the Commission has indicated, as has President Dijsselbloem, that we expect this conversation to take place later in the year. It may begin over the summer, it will probably continue into the autumn, but I can't be more precise than that at this stage.
D'autres questions? Ici à gauche, main gauche.
Follow-up question on the Greek debt. Simon, do you consider 170%, 75% of debt sustainable?
Well, what you have to look at is the trajectory that we expect the Greek debt to take over the coming 5 to 10 years. And as I said, if you wait until Friday, you'll see our updated debt sustainability analysis. But also, if you look at the most recent ones that we've published, you'll see a steady, significant reduction in the debt to GDP ratio of Greece between now and the beginning of the next decade. So I think looking at that clearly answers your question. But I mean, I can of course reiterate that we are of the view that Greece's debt is sustainable, provided of course that full program implementation continues over the coming years, up until the end of the program, and then that efforts continue to ensure sound and sustainable management of public finances. But the short answer is yes, Greek debt is sustainable.
Merci Simon. Oui, s'il vous plaît.
Simon, do you think that the Greek government could spend part of the primary surplus in already this year, or should put this money to reduce his debt?
Well, that the use to which this will be put has already been agreed in the context of the programme discussions. Announcements have been made by the Greek government in that context. And as I say, I would again refer you to Friday's report, where you'll have a very detailed set of answers to all of these questions. But there have already been announcements by the Greek government with which we are in agreement on that.